Hi, my name is Misty. Welcome back to my channel. So, I've been going through this depression era book, and I'd like to share one of the pages with you, and it's good tips for newlyweds marriage couples. And there's a lot of really good tips in here. One of the tips is spend less than you earn, which is a really good tip. This is just a great way for you to save money. Now, when you get married and you purchase a house and things like that, you want to make sure that you have enough money for your bills. So you want to make sure that the other part is getting put into savings, which is really good because then if something big happens, like you need a roof or the car needs fixing or something, you need to fix something, you'll have that money to be able to fix it. Make a budget. Yes, making a budget is very important. You need to know how much you're earning and where the money's going and how much you have at the end of the month. So it is very important to have a budget. Keep a record of expenditures. So what this means is you're going to keep a record of everything that you're spending on, because then it's a great way to say, hey, can we not spend the money here and save that money and put it somewhere else? So always make sure where your money's going. A lot of times people just, we have cards now. So a lot of times people just swipe the card and they're not budgeting, and before you know it, there's zero in their account and they're like, I don't know what happened. So you got to keep track of where everything is going. Life insurance. It is very important to have life insurance. When you are married or newlyweds, life insurance is important. If anything were to happen to your spouse, the life insurance will come in handy. So, life insurance is really important to have. Insure your house and content. So this means that you want to make sure that you have insurance. So you want to make sure you have home insurance, because if there's any type of damage due to weather, a house fire, or anything like that, the insurance would cover it. So insurance is very important to have on your home. The other tip is you want to make sure you own a home. So you don't want to be a married couple living with your parents. I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, there's kids that do live with their parents, or they're struggling or anything like that. And so, but back then, they did not do that. They made sure that they were financially set to be able to have married and have a home. Another thing is pay your bills promptly. You want to make sure that you're paying your bills ahead of time or on time. You don't want to be late on your bills, because the more that you're late, the more they charge. So be very careful with that and make sure you're keeping an eye on your bills, where and when they're coming in and when they're going out. That's where you keep track. You have a budget book. Everything needs to be tracked. Avoid waste in every form. So I have a habit of doing this. I showed you a video of my linen closet and my cleaning closet. You want to make sure that before you're purchasing something else, you're using everything up and using it to the ability. So if you have a thing of Windex, make sure you use it all before you go and purchase another one. And that will save you money. It buys you more time to save and things like that. Another thing is avoid waste from food. So many people waste food. So don't be wasteful in the kitchen. Don't be wasteful with cleaning products. Don't be wasteful with clothes or jewelry or makeup, or, just don't be wasteful. Use everything that you have. Realize the responsibility of the marriage relationship, bear and forbear. So what this means is that when you take that commitment and you're really ready to take that commitment, you're going through it all. You're going through the ugly, the good, the bad, the everything. So you really want to make sure that you are there for one another through everything. Wives must cook. Well, if they would keep their husbands. So back in these times, it was the wife's duty to make sure that you were cooking for your husband and that he had hot meals. I mean, the men work hard, and if you're a housewife, that is our job to make sure that they have a good breakfast, their lunch is packed, and their dinner is done when they get home. Now, I don't know how everyone feels about this. There's a lot of controversy about this subject. A lot of people don't believe that nowadays. So I'm going to pause right here for a second, and I want you to go ahead and start writing in the comments on whether you think some of these are good or not good, or would you do these, or do you still do these? If you disagree with me or agree with me, just leave them in the comments below. No need to get ugly in the comments. We're all adults here, and it's just everyone's opinion, and I'm just reading from the book, so don't get mad at me, okay? But I do that. I'm a housewife now, and I've been a housewife other than when I worked a year over at the hotel, but I cook all of the meals at home, and I make sure that my husband and my kids are well fed. Happy bellies, right? Happy men, happy bellies. All right, husbands should confide in their wives, and the wives should take an interest in their husband's problems. Now, ladies, if your husband comes to you and he has a problem, you really need to listen to what he's saying. A lot of times women get upset, they don't listen to them, they want to listen halfway, they just don't want to bother. You cannot do that in a marriage. And it goes the same way with men and women. You guys need to make sure that you are listening to what each other needs and wants, and if anyone has a problem, so that way you can help your spouse get through whatever they need to get through. You guys are supposed to be y'all's biggest cheerleaders. Y'all are there for one another. You took that commitment. So please make sure that you are doing that. Wives must be neat. If their husbands like the latest styles, the wives should govern themselves accordingly. So whatever style it is, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you're looking nice for your husbands. You don't have to put on a lot of makeup or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you are presentable and that you stay looking good for your husband. And men, the same thing. You want to look good for your wives. You want to keep that attraction, and you just want to look nice when you dress yourself up and you look nice. You have that confidence, and it just makes for a better day. Husbands should see that their wives get plenty of entertainment, so they should take them to the movies, to auto rides, walks, swims, or whatever the wife likes. So this is where the dates come in. This is where, and times are different with dates than they were back then. The men used to court the women and made sure that they knew that, hey, I really like you, and I'm gonna court you, and if I'm going to marry you, and I'm gonna stick with that. Even when you're married, it should be the same thing. And it's vice versa. It's vice versa for men and women. Some guys like to do certain things, women like to do certain things. But this is a tip for me. You gotta have a balance of what each other likes to do. One weekend, go do something that your husband likes. Then the other weekend, do something that your wife likes. And take turns. That way there's a balance of things that y'all like to do, and you're doing them together. Now, women, it doesn't matter if you don't like it or not. Men, it doesn't matter if you don't like it or not. You are doing it because it pleases your husband, it pleases your wife, and at least you're together. You're together doing it, and that's all that matters. You want to see your spouses happy. Okay. If there has been a quarrel, kiss and make up, and never go to bed angry. This is a big tip. A lot of times we get angry and the men sleep on the couch, or the women, they leave angry and they'll go stay at a friend's. Don't do that. That's not how a marriage works. If you have a problem within your marriage, it is nobody's business but yours and your husbands. And you need to make sure that you are working it out and talking, not yelling, not screaming. Sit down on the couch, sit down on the bed, and let each other know what made you angry. Hey, you made me angry because you did this today, or you know, it really upset me, but I still love you, and just please don't do it again. And this is where the listening takes place. You really need to listen to each other. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses, okay? We're not here for competition. If you make less money than somebody else and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, no, that's not a good thing. So make sure you stick with your budget, you listen to each other, and yeah, those are some really great tips, aren't they? All right, I want to hear from you in the comments. Thank you guys for staying. If you made it all the way through, let me know. And I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.